Hi, so for today we're going to talk about solving simultaneous equation, okay, calculator techniques in algebra. So still basically this is still a part of our lesson all about the calculator techniques for engineering board exam preparation. So basically for today we're going to talk about how are we going to solve simultaneous equation using our calculator. Okay? So this is still a part of our calculator techniques for engineering board exam. So let's get started for number one. So for problem number one, we have solved the simultaneous linear equations. So we have 3x minus y equals 6. And the equation 2, we have 9x minus y equals 12. So basically, in manual solving of this simultaneous linear equation, we have so many methods. So we have the elimination, we have the uh, matrix, okay, Cramer's rule, we have the substitution, etc. and etc. So, but for today, I'm going to show you how are we going to use our calculator in order for us to solve this type of problem. So, it's very important, class, that this simultaneous linear equation should have a consistent what? Form. Meaning, this is always in this form. So, we have the coefficients of x here, then we have the coefficients of y, and that is equivalent with the constant on the right side. So, it's very important that that is uh, in that form. Okay, so how are we going to solve that? So for two equations, two unknowns. So we have two equations, two unknowns, x and y. So we have to press mode, okay? And then number 5, at least for this example or for this calculator, mode 5. And then since we are solving two equations, two unknowns, okay, we opt to press what? Number 1. Okay? So the calculator will ask for the coefficients or the values of the coefficient of x. Okay? In this case, we have a, b. So this will be our a, the coefficient of x. The b will be the coefficient of y. And the 6 will be the constant letter c here. So let's try to input. For the first equation, we have 3 as value of our x. We have -1. Don't forget the sign. So still, this is a -1 because it's minus. And the c here is equal to 6. If the 6 here, okay, if this is equal to 0, okay, the constant should be transposed to the right side. Okay? So that this is always in the format. Okay. So for the second equation, we have 9. We have -1. Okay, and then we have 12. So after we input all of those coefficients of our two equations, okay, it's now time to calculate or press equal sign. And there you have that the value of x that we have inputted in the value of a, that is the value of x, equals 1, and the value of y equals -3. Okay? So again, x equals 1 and y equals -3. So it's that simple. So just don't forget that it should be in this form. Okay? It should be in this form whereas the constant is on the right side of the equation. Okay? So again, our answer is x equals 1 and y equals -3. That is our answer. Okay. So now let's try to uh, answer the problem number 2. Okay. So for the problem number 2, given the equation 5 raised to x plus y equals 125 and 2 raised to 2x minus y equals 32, find x. Okay, so we are tasked to find only the x. So we have one equation here and another equation here because we have two equations, two unknowns. But we are about to find the x. The problem is only asking for the value of x. So how do we do this? Okay. So first of all, we are going to simplify the given equation. Okay? So we cannot literally enter this in our calculator, okay, by its form. So what are we going to do for equation 1? We are going to rewrite this as 5 raised to x plus y equals, we have 125. That's the original one. So we're going to simplify it such that the left side of the equation should have the right side of the equation the same base. So 125 is equal also into 5 cubed. So now it is as if we are not seeing that 5 because that 5 actually cancels. Okay? So we are seeing that it is x plus y equals 3. Okay? By laws of uh, exponential. So if we raise it base 2e, okay, so we will be having this equation. Okay, but we have to remember that if they have the same base already, we can rewrite whatever their exponent is as the equation. So we have equation 1 here. So for number 2, what are we going to do? So the same thing. So we have 2 raised to 2x minus y equals 32. So that is the same as 2 raised to 5. So Viola, they have the same base, which is 2. So equation 2 must be 2x minus y equals 5. So this is our equation 2. So and therefore, we can now write this in our calculator. So we have still two equations, two unknowns. Okay, so that is still mode 5, 1. So we have for the equation 1, we have the coefficient of 1 for x, 1 for y, and then we have 3 for the constant on the right side of the equation. And then for the second equation, we have 2, then we have negative 1, and then we have 5. Okay, double checking if we have the correct coefficients of the x and y and as well as the constant. We have 1, 1, 3. Then we have 2, negative 1, and 5. Press equal sign. And Viola, we have the value of x, which is which equals 8 thirds or 8 over 3. Okay, so that is equivalent to 8 over 3. So our answer for this problem should be equal to letter A. Okay. So, of course, the calculator will also get the value of y because it's a two equation, two unknowns. But in the problem, we are only asked to find the value of x. So, which is actually what? Which is actually 8 thirds or 8 over 3. Okay. So, for number 3, if the polynomial ax cubed plus bx squared plus 8x plus 7 is divided by x minus 2, the remainder is 63. If it is divided by x plus 3, the remainder is negative 62. Find the value of a. So, okay, this is an interesting problem. Okay, so we have a polynomial ab given in this form, and if we divide it according to the problem by x minus 2, the remainder is 63. Meaning, if we are going to substitute, okay, the value of x equals 2 in the value of x here, the remainder should be 63. So let us try. So what will happen is that we are going to simply substitute the value of 2. Okay, again, this should be equated to 0 and get the value of x and then substitute the value of x here in the polynomial and you should get 63. Okay, so basically we don't know what? We don't know the values of A and the values of B. Okay, so what are we going to do is simply substitute. Okay, so let's try to do it. Okay, so for this, okay, we can do this by simply substituting first a value of x equals 2. Okay? So if we divide this whole equation by x minus 2, then it simply means that we are going to substitute 2, okay, in this polynomial. So we have a 2 cubed plus b 2 squared plus 8 times 2 plus 7. And if we divide this according to the remainder theorem, it should be 63. So it should be 63. So we have 8a plus 4b plus 16 plus 7 equals 63. So, simplifying this furthermore, we have equals 63 minus 16 minus 7. So, we have 8a plus 4b equals, we have 63 minus 16 minus 7. That's 40. Okay? And that is equivalent to 40. This should be our equation 1. We can simplify this by dividing both sides by uh, 4. Okay? So, but we leave it as it is because the calculator will actually still get the same answer for A and B, whether it's simplified or not. So, the second equation we are going to get, remember, this is first equation. We have two unknowns, A and B. Therefore, we should have another equation. And that is given by this sentence. So, if it is divided by x plus 3, so it means if x is equal to negative 3, okay, the remainder is negative 62. So, again, still, we have A raised to multiplied by negative 3 cube plus we have b negative 3 squared plus we have 8 times negative 3 plus 7 and the remainder should be negative 62. Okay, so we have negative 27a, we have plus 9b, we have minus 24 plus 7 equals negative 62. So we have negative 27a plus 9b. Okay, and then we have negative 62 plus 24 minus 7. So, if we simplify the constant side, so we have negative 62 plus 24 minus 7. So, we have negative 45. So, we have negative 27a plus 9b equals what? Equals negative 45. Negative 45. So this will be our equation 2. And now we can write it, okay, on our calculator. We can input it in our calculator. Equation 1, we have equation 2. We are asked to find the value of A. So mode 5, 1. Okay. So we have, for equation 1, we have 8. We have 4, and the constant is 40. For number 2, we have equation 2, negative 27. And then we have 9, and then we have negative 45. Of course, the calculator will give a value of x and y because it's by default the variable in the calculator is x and y. But we know that this is our x and this is our y. Okay, a is our x and y is our b. Okay, so we have x, or the value of a, equals 3 and the value of b equals 4. So our answer for this problem should be letter A because we have get the value of A, which is 3. Okay? So that's how we are going to solve this type of problem. Okay? Okay, so for problem number 4, given the equations, take note this is not a linear equation, but we can treat it as a linear equation if we are going to what? To input it in our calculator. Let's just keep in mind that what are we going to get, okay, in our calculator is actually what? It is actually the value of the x squared and the y squared. So don't forget to take the square root of whatever the value the calculator will give you as the answer. Okay, so we have x squared minus y squared equals 16 and 2x squared plus 5y squared equals 95. So we will be treating x squared as simply as x, y squared simply as y. Okay, and don't ever forget that whatever the calculator will give you, you have to take the square root of those to get the correct answer because this is what? This is a non-linear equation. Okay, so let's try to do that. So it's very simple. So again, we have to have mode 5, 1. So we have 1. For our equation, we have x squared minus y squared. So we have negative 1. And then we have 16 for the constant. For the second equation, we have 2. We have 5 plus 5. And then we have 95. Take note, what we will get here is the value of x squared and y squared. So the problem is actually asking us for the value of x. So it means whatever the value of the calculator that will be solved, we have to get the square root of that. Okay? So we have x equals 25 and y equals 9. So as I have said, this x is x squared. Okay? Because we only treat this x squared simply as x. Okay? So this is now an x squared. So if we get the value of x by getting the square root of 25, it should be x equals positive or negative 5. So the answer here must be positive and negative 5. So I hope you learned that trick. So you just don't have to forget that whatever value of x you will be getting is actually what? Okay, it's actually in terms of x squared and y squared. Okay? So the same thing if this is in cube, okay? Both are in cube, x cube, y cube. What are you going to do? You're going to get the cube root of the answer, and that is the value of the x. Okay? So let's proceed for last problem for this video. This is only a short video, but I hope you will learn something. Solve the simultaneous linear equations. We have here, we have x, y, and z. So we have three unknowns. So basically, we have three equations because we have three unknowns. So we have 9x plus 2y plus z equals 16. And we have negative 3x minus y plus 3z equals 4. And then we have x minus 6y minus z equals negative 14. So the same process, we have mode 5. Since we have three equations, three unknowns, we will be proceeding with mode 5 2, in which we have three unknowns, three equations. So 2. So let's try to write the coefficients. For first equation, we have 9, we have 2, and then we have 1. And for letter D, this is the value of the constant, 16. And then we have, for second equation, we have negative 3, negative 1 because of negative y. And we have 3, and then we have 4 for the constant. And for the third equation, we have, for x is positive 1, for y negative 6, for z negative 1, and then it equals with a negative 14 as the constant. So we are asked to find the value of x, y, and z. So the value of x is 1. So C and D is not the correct answer. So it's either A or B. Y equals 2, still either A or B. And z equals 3. So the correct answer is x equals 1, y equals 2, z equals 3. So definitely that's letter A. So I hope you enjoyed that video, okay, about solving simultaneous linear equations. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe on my channel to learn more about the mathematics and engineering, and of course, some calculator techniques. So again, this is Engineer Abat. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.